Hello and welcome once again to Life Without Shakers. We are back once again in the Lake District for another Walking the Wainwrights adventure. Starting off today from the Parkfoot campsite. It's at the northern tip of Ullswater near Pooley Bridge. Because today we've got 13 mile or so walk starting on Arthur's Pike and then following the ridge from there across to Bonscale, Pike, Wether Hill and Loadpot Hill, and descending down over Steel Knots before taking in the beautiful little summit of Hallin Fell on the way back. The other thing to note is it's about 25 degrees today, so it's going to be a hot one. But on the other hand, there's one or two fluffy little white clouds, but other than that, beautiful blue skies, so we should get some spectacular views. Panorama of beautiful Ullswater, and there is Arthur's Pike, our first destination. And an hour in, and here we are on the summit of Arthur's Pike. This is Wainwright number 5 of Book 2, The Far Eastern Fells. It is 1,747 feet. Wainwright says about it, Arthur's Pike is the northerly termination of the long High Street range. It contrasts with the usual Lakeland fell structure by exhibiting its crags to the afternoon sun, which would be the northern and eastern slopes which face onto Ullswater. There's no question there's spectacular views of Lakeland from here. So across to the Helvellyn range, look across over Ullswater, and it's a 360 degree view as well, because on the other side you've got the majestic sweep of the Pennines. Just below the summit of Bonscale Pike here, just stopping to admire these two prominent landmarks that Wainwright points out. On the left, you can expertly make a Bonscale Tower, a slightly more amateurish iron pillar on the right, and framing this absolutely stunning view of the northern tip of Ullswater. Mixed praises of this particular fell. He says, Swarthfell, the turreted encastellated rim, has the appearance when seen from Ullswater far below of the ruined battlements of the castle wall. This aspect is sufficiently arresting to earn for the rocky facade and the summit above it the separate and distinctive name of Bonscale Pike. This escarpment, however, is a sham, for it defends nothing other than a dreary plateau of grass, and indeed there is little else of interest on the fell. Oh well, that was worth the climb, wasn't it? Never mind, Mr. Webber. Right, I'm going to press on anyway to Loadpot Hill. Halfway now between Bonscale Pike and Loadpot Hill, which is rising up above us there. Right in the middle of that featureless grassland plateau that Wainwright mentioned, and it really is. There's an odd lot up here. It'd certainly get lost quite easily if it was misty. If it was misty, you'd have every chance of landing in that and getting rather wet. Right, well, I'm hoping this trig point marks the summit of Loadpot Hill, 2,201 feet, which should be Wainwright number 7 of the Far Eastern Fells. I say that because it really doesn't seem to be the summit as Wainwright described it, but it's a high point on a fell with a massive trig point on it, so I'm going to count it. So hopefully the next one will be Wether Hill. I mean, that should have been the summit of Loadpot Hill, because in front now you can see the sweep of the High Street range in all its glory. That should be Wether Hill there, the first one of them. Should be, oh it was a long time ago when Wainwright wrote his book, the ruined chimney of Lava House shooting lodge, but that seems to have gone from the moorland completely in the intervening time. Having said that, I think this could be the ruins of the Lava House chimney, in which case it really has deteriorated quite a lot since Wainwright's day. And this is Wainwright number 8 of the Far Eastern Fells. This is Wether Hill, 2,210 feet. Wainwright loves this one. He says the High Street range has largely lost its appeal to the walker by the time he reaches the twin grassy mounds of Wether Hill on the long tramp along its spine northwards, and there is nothing here to call for a halt. The top, scarcely higher than the general level of the ridge, is quite without interest, while the eastern slopes are little better. He also goes on to say, there are many fells more worthy of climbing than Wether Hill, the finer slope being very dull. I mean, he's not wrong. I actually walked about halfway to the next fell, High Raise, before I realised I'd actually walked straight over this one and missed it completely, so I had to turn around and double pack. You don't actually realise that this miserable little pile of stones actually marks the summit of Wether Hill. But never mind, this is the high point of the walk, of today's walk, and it is the halfway point because it's time to turn around and head downhill. And there are our next objectives, the little fells of Steel Knots and Hallin Fell. You also have some good views of where we've been before. That there is Better Fell and Place Fell, which feels like a long time ago when I did those walks, back in October last year, last time I got up here. Right, this is Steel Knots, that is the summit in front, and there's nothing indistinctive or easy to miss about that one. And here it is, the summit of Steel Knots, Wainwright number 5 for today, and 9 over the Far Eastern Fells in total, and I'm standing on top of the highest point at 1,414 feet, I should say. This is the evocatively named Pikes. As I step down, this is Pikes, just behind me. Just about to see it there. Wainwright says this freakish gnarled ridge, the summit tour of which is named Pikes, is a craggy tour that would worthily embellish the summit of many a higher fell. I mean, this is only 1,400 feet high, but that's the hardest climb I've had to do today to get up to here. And look at the views. I mean, the higher fells are rather very good for peak bragging, but the lower fells are where it's at for the views. So, just one more to go now. Across to Hallin Fell, which you can just about see right next door. Wow, just reached the end of Steel Knots now. It's about to drop steeply down into the valley, and the view has opened up again. A panorama of the southern tip of Ullswater there, swinging around past Hallin Fell with St Martin's Church in the bottom, and then across to the northern half of Ullswater. Absolutely wonderful. Here we are, at last, Wainwright number 6 of the day, number 10 overall of book 2. This is the little but incredibly popular Hallin Fell, 1,271 feet. I mean, it may only be small, and you get little kids coming up here regularly, but on a day like today, with this heat and after 10 miles and 5 fells beforehand, it felt like Everest. Took a long time to climb up, but it's well worth the climb. You got a full panorama of the entire length of Ullswater from here. Oh, at last, down off Hallin Fell. Seems to take a long time to get down the hill, but now it's just a hopefully pleasurable stroll along the shores of Ullswater back to the campsite. Oh, and at last I'm back at the campsite. That was a killer. It took just over 2 miles further than I thought it would have been, and well, over 6 hours to do that as well. I know overshooting Wether Hill didn't help in that regard, but I didn't think I'd overshot it by that much. The main thing was the heat was an absolute killer today. I ran out of water on the top of Hallin Fell. I ran out of energy a little bit before that. I was grinding to a halt in places on the last 3 or 4 miles there, but made it back. It's another 6 Wainwrights in the bag, and all that remains now is to drag myself another mile into Pooley Bridge and hope there's a pub that's still doing food. Right, anyway, once again, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye.